Hi, I'm Colton with Porsche Center Calgary, and this is our 2019 911 Carrera 4S. This is a very cool car, as you can see in the guards red, which I love. So many of what we sell are black and white and silver cars, and we really don't see enough color nowadays, so I love seeing cars like this in the bright red. Now, along with that, we decided to add the guards red seat belts, bring that color inside a little bit and pick it up in there, which I really like. Subtle touch, but makes a big difference. And being an S, it has the guards red brake calipers as well, so there's a lot of that kind of color throughout. And then on that note, these wheels, this is the 20-inch RS Spider wheel, which is a really cool design. It has kind of that satin finish, which gives it a unique look. Now, a little bit about how we optioned this car. So we put in the Premium Package Plus, as we do with a lot of our cars. Gives you most of the must-haves there, so I'll break some of that down for you. With that package, you get your heated and cooled seats, which clearly pretty well everybody wants. You also get the auto-dimming mirror, so if you're driving at night, you know, the headlights behind you aren't glaring back in your face. And the entry and drive. So you just touch the door handle to open it and touch it in a different spot to lock it, and then you don't have to plug your keys into the dash to start the car. So another kind of, you know, highly in-demand option. And then the headlights, you also get the LEDs with PDLS, or Porsche Dynamic Lighting System. So they'll turn with the steering wheel and look further down the road as you speed up and things like that. Become largely a must-have for people. So all that stuff is here, but it is a 911. All right, it is a sports car. Some people will buy it as more of a GT, but for the most part, you buy it because it's a sports car. You want to drive it in that way. So we also put in the sport package appropriately. So some of what you get in that are things like the GT steering wheel, a little bit smaller than the standard one. I really do prefer the feel of it. Steering feels a little bit quicker with that. As well, you get the rear axle steer. So at low speeds, that will turn opposite from the front wheels to shorten that turning circle, and then at high speeds, they'll turn with the front wheels, give you a little bit more high-speed stability, which is a really cool option to have, worth getting the package for. And then also the Sport Chrono package. So a lot of, all the cars, I should say, will have the Sport button. You can press that, it sharpens your throttle response, changes shift points, all that. When you get the Sport Chrono package, you also get a Sport Plus mode, which kind of takes that to the next level, that much more aggressive throttle and transmission mapping and all that. But with that, you also get launch control. Which is pretty cool. Another reason you get these cars, right? You want to be pretty quick off the line. Has that as well. One other thing about the Sport Chrono package that's really cool is the Sport Response button. So you have a little dial on the steering wheel that you rotate to go from Sport to Sport Plus, and there's an individual mode as well. But then inside that, there's a button, as I mentioned, that's called the Sport Response button. When you press that, you get a 20-second countdown clock in your gauges, and that's where it's holding the back pressure in the turbos and just kind of gives you all the power immediately. It's like a push-to-pass kind of idea. It works really well, and it's really fun, frankly, when you're on the highway and just want a little bit of extra get up and go on demand. So we put all that stuff in the car as well, make it as sporty as possible. But then a few other comfort things too, because, you know, the cars can be driven every day. You don't want to make it just purely sport and nothing else. So we also put in things like the blind spot warning, right, or lane change assist as Porsche calls it. So it'll light up just inside here if somebody is in your blind spot. If you signal, then it'll flash to draw your attention and warn you of that. Also upgraded the audio system, put in the Bose audio, which again, most people want. Pretty meaningful upgrade in the car. And then actually one other thing that's seemingly small, but I found it pretty important. The door sill. The standard one is just a very small kind of aluminum piece that'll say Carrera 4S. But with this one, we did the full-length stainless steel door sill. When I ordered my car, I didn't put in anything. I just kept the standard one, and it's fine. But every time I open my door, I wish I had the bigger, kind of longer, more impressive one. So that's what we put in here. And, you know, that's kind of what we try to do, is, you know, use our experience and the cars, you know, we see them every day. We configure them all kinds of different ways and are pretty good, I'd like to think, at figuring out what options are meaningful, what's really worth having, and some of the stuff that's, you know, still very cool, but, you know, may not be worthwhile. So this is a car that we put in all that really cool stuff that most people want and appreciate without a bunch of extra stuff to kind of inflate the price. So really, very good value with this one, and you're not missing anything. It's got a lot of really, really cool content. And I suppose, break down a little bit of what you get in a Carrera 4S. Being a 4, that indicates that it's all-wheel drive, right? And they're a little bit wider in the back as well than the 2 wheels. And then being an S, it has a little bit more horsepower. So a regular Carrera would have 370. This has 420, and it's a noticeable difference. It's a super quick car. So a little bit about this one, but we do actually have a really good inventory of 911s. So check out the rest of our videos, or please do pay us a visit. Let us break them all down for you and explain what our thought process is, because each one really has a pretty interesting, unique story. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for watching.